people, like I'm going to say like they're us in 70 years. Personally, I got into this because my grandmother suffers with dementia quite seriously. I've gone through the whole process with her. I've become quite sensitive to it because of personal reasons, but I also understand on a professional level as well. And I know that for some people, if they've never experienced it on a personal level, it's hard to not laugh at certain things, or you don't understand exactly what's going on, or respect that that person hasn't always been like this. So it's super important that we keep that in mind when we're dealing with certain situations. The first one is offensive language. The example I used this morning is we had 2 students from Strathcona come last week, and there's a gentleman in a locked unit, and he didn't get the code to get out, and he was very angry that he couldn't leave. So he started swearing at the students, telling them that he hated them, and they were ugly, and why don't you let me out, you're horrible. Obviously, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't want you to take it personally. He doesn't completely understand what's going on. So the best way to handle that is just to say, hey sir, I'm going to get you a nurse, like let's go back to your room. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I can't let you out for your own good. Let's go get you some help. You just have to be super respectful and calm, and obviously don't take it to heart. Just understand that he doesn't completely understand what's going on either. Nudity is very common. This is probably going to be one of the most common things you guys are going to deal with. Once again, a good example of this, I think, is when my grandma moved into her home the first time. We were setting up her room, and a man came around the corner, walking with his walker, pants around his ankles, no shirt on, just doesn't like wearing clothes. This happens quite often. He doesn't understand that there's a lot of people there, it's a public facility, and obviously he is going to be embarrassed when he realizes that people see him naked, and it's not just his house. So the best way to handle this is to find an HCA, which is basically going to be a nurse in the uniform, the scrubs, your rec therapy supervisor, anyone like that, and just say, hey, so-and-so has no clothes on right now, or something's hanging out, can we please get this handled? And try not to laugh out with your friends or point it out, because like I said, they do have feelings, they'll be embarrassed about it. Same goes with bathroom issues. A lot of them are incontinent, which means that they cannot hold anything going on in that area. They can't make it to the bathroom themselves. A lot of them do have diapers, pads, stuff like that, but you're going to smell it, you might see it in some cases. Once again, the best way to handle this is just to ask someone to deal with it or look at it and get it sorted out in the most quiet and calm way possible, because they will be very embarrassed about it as well. Inappropriate gestures, like I said this morning as well, it's going to be primarily female. They're going to deal with this with the older gentleman. You're going to get a lot of, I think you're really pretty, come sit on my lap, can I take you out on a date, anything like that. Obviously, they don't exactly remember how old they are or how old you are, and they don't realize that it's inappropriate. So the best way to handle it, like my mom actually mentioned earlier, my boyfriend wouldn't like that very much. I'm very flattered, but thank you. And then change the topic of conversation. You just try to avoid it in the best way that you can to not hurt their feelings or embarrass them, because it's like, my perfect example is if you were talking to people you never met before and they said to you, you're on Mars right now, and you were like, no, I'm not, I'm on Earth. And they were like, no, you're on Mars. That's how they feel. They don't understand exactly where they are or why their mind's in a different place or a different time, so you just have to talk to them in a respectful way to remember that's going on as well. So once again, just remember that seniors are just us in 70 years. They're going to have different personalities, different interests, their different life experiences. No different than talking to your classmates, just older and with a little bit of forgetfulness, I guess is what you would say. If you are ever uncomfortable having questions about anything that's going on, you can talk to me. I'll be there every Thursday with you guys until my practicum ends at the end of March. Otherwise, you guys will meet my supervisor, Kelly, in the Adult Day program, or I think Sandy, Renee, Lacey. There's about 8 girls you guys are going to meet in recreational therapy you guys can talk to. Any of the HAs will answer your questions. Mr. Dixon, any of the teachers, you guys will always have someone you can ask if you ever feel uncomfortable. Yeah, saying that, does anyone have any questions about what they're going to be doing or what to expect? No? Alright.
I just knew. It's kind of hard to think of.
I know. You're going to get there and you're going to see things and you'll probably have questions when you experience it for the first time. And the first couple days are probably going to be quite hectic, just trying to, obviously sort you guys out. You guys are a big class, they're not used to this many volunteers coming in at one time. guys, like I said, will not be alone. You guys don't have to be too worried. Rec therapy is going to go through something similar to this with you guys. I think the first stage is with their policies, and you guys will actually be with the seniors while they're going over it. I think that they're planning on doing a lot of, I don't really know what they call them, but it'll be like, how many are in a baker's dozen or something like that. So the seniors have to think about things that they might have not thought about in a while, and you guys are just going to assist them with that and make it fun and laughable and just an enjoyable 45 minutes for them.
Give your example of kind of your first time volunteering, the conversation that you had with that lady, just what you guys will experience.
This is good. So my first time volunteering with someone other than my grandmother, who it's obviously completely different when you don't know the person beforehand. I had a conversation with her and she was completely with it. I never would have guessed she had anything wrong at all, and she was telling me, oh, this lady's my best friend here, and this is my favorite thing to do, and it was totally fine. And so I mentioned to her, do you have any children? She said, yeah, I do. And I said, how old are you? And she said, they're 14 and 16. And I said, oh, okay, and how old are you? And she said, I'm 12. And so I said, oh, okay, because you have to agree with everything they say. I guess I should definitely point that out. You do not fight them on anything. It could make no logical sense at all. They could say, the sky is pink, say, oh, okay, got it. And if it's making you uncomfortable, change the topic, but just go with it. So she said, yeah, I'm 12. And I said, oh, okay, would you like to talk about something else? And she said, actually, I stole my parents' car, and they're about to come home from their party, so I have to go put it back in the garage. I need to leave. And so I was like, all right, sounds good. Why don't we go for a walk? And then we got up to go for a walk, changed conversation. Obviously, she wasn't trying to go back to her garage. She was not 12, didn't steal the car. But you change the conversation, you move on, they forget what they were talking about, and you start something new. That would be an example of how you would handle the conversation. You're going to have a lot of that. Anything else? I'm trying to think.
When they're in their pairs, make sure you guys interact with the senior. Don't interact with each other. Like, because you will be a partner. They get very upset. We can speak from it personally. When Allegra and I go to visit my mother, she gets very upset. We'll be chitty-chatty, we'll pick up our cell phone, whatever, and she gets very upset. She wants us to visit with her, and that's what's most important. And even if you have a senior that can't easily conversate back with you, because a lot of them have different speech problems, they might have something called aphasia, things like that, still talk to them. And they'll mumble back, and they'll smile, and they'll this, and they'll that, and just try to do the best you can to facilitate whatever conversation you can.
And they'll repeat the same thing 25 times?
Yep.
You will probably have the same conversation in 45 minutes times 8 times. Yeah, you answer it the same way the first time as you do for the next 8. So if they say, I used to play soccer when I was younger, you go, oh yeah, what kind of position did you play? Or like, how old were you when you started? And then you have the whole conversation. And then 10 minutes later, you might say, I used to play soccer when I was younger. And you say, oh yeah, what position did you play? And you do the same thing over and over again. It's not a conversation that makes sense for you guys or what you would talk about with your friends. It's more just a reminder that they don't get conversations like this often, and just respect that they need this time to just get it off their chest or talk or have someone to talk to, because they don't get that kind of stuff every day. Yeah. You guys will get used to it, I promise. And like I said, if you guys have any questions once you get there. This is my email if you guys think of anything later, or you're uncomfortable asking in front of everyone or not going into my face. That's fine. You can email me. I'm also going to leave cards at the front that are my manager's cards. They have the website for Beverly Center that you guys can look up if you just want to get a better feel for what to expect. And they have her email and stuff as well. So if you guys want to take them before you leave, you can. Other than that, I'm going to see you guys on February 20th. So it's a week from Thursday.
Yeah, that would be next week.